Hello, welcome. Welcome to Mystic Moons. Mystic Moons is sitting here all alone, high in the mountains. It's nighttime, it's quite late. Well, quite early. Now it's quite late. Quite late. Stars are twinkling in the sky. The air is clear. And it's chilly. Not as chilly as it's going to be, because this is just the fall. Winter is coming. We've all heard that phrase. Winter is coming. Well, for some people, though, they won't have a winter, but they only have the fall. And I mean that literally. If you think about falling, you get a weird sensation. Nobody wants to fall down. Not even to fall down just in an act of walking through a store, on a sidewalk. Nobody wants to fall. It's kind of like a innate feeling that we have in our essence. Upright, upright, upright. Nobody wants to fall. We crawled once when we were little. We don't want to duplicate that action again. And falling is almost like a panic. You fall down. Even when you're like blitzed, if you ever got blitzed, inebriated on some sort of stimulant, you still have that innate stand on your own feet. Stand on your own 2 feet. But sometimes misfortune happens. Things that you can have a premonition of. Things that you have to read the omens, the signs. Today, we're going to look into a very weird case. One Direction musician, singer, Liam Payne. Liam Payne died recently. And the press was quick to rule out, oh, he was depressed, he was taking drugs, he was like this and he was like that. Now, true, he had resorted to having stimulation. He was a musician. However, when people usually die, they don't die so young. And then too, when someone dies and they're in the top of their career, and they were saying, oh, he was depressed because he was dumped by his music company. Hey, excuse me, backtrack. Liam Payne was 16 years old when he started working. Do the math. 16 plus 16 equal how many? 32. He was almost 32, right? That means for 16 years of his young life, he was employed, working his ass off. Do you think he really was all that depressed that he got canned? Don't you think it was mutual? I mean, imagine working at 16 and working vigorously. Well, it just doesn't make any sense. And he had plenty of dough. He had plenty of cash. He wasn't lacking. I mean, there are plenty of people that are walking around with $10 to their pocket and they live in their car. That's depression. I mean, that's something that's maybe suicidal, but not somebody who has clout, recognition, and cash. Right? And a child who was adorable. He had a family. He was in good terms with the baby's mommy. And he had girlfriends. He was desired. Now, why would somebody like that, 31-year-old male, Well, top of his game, the top of his game. He wasn't dried up. I mean, nobody's dried up at 31. Get a grip. Get a grip. I mean, no matter what you may read or hear, depression, mental illness, blah, 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 blah. Oh, and he had drugs in his system. Now, we all know, we've all watched a lot of movies. We've seen all sorts of like campy, who done it, who did, whatever that phrase is called. We've seen all these things, you know. We've seen people that like they want to get rid of somebody, they ingest them with a whole bunch of drugs, they put alcohol all over their shirt, their clothes, and dump them off the hill, off the bridge, in the car, turn the car on, poof, right. Reckless, reckless, reckless man. Poor man, poor man. How come there's always a poor man that's loaded with bucks? And he's also had considerable years of performance. Now, one thing about, they've already ruled out finally after, weeks, that he did not commit suicide. And they begin to like home in the other direction, which is, murder. So the mystery of this young musician, 31-year-old musician, Liam Payne, is about to, it takes another sinister note. Now, the things that are strange about this case, there's three things. Or maybe there's four things. But the top three things are, he was wearing a 31,000-pound watch on his person that is missing. 31,000 pounds. Now, even in, the pounds are worth more than USD, the dollar. $31,000. Now, that is very tempting. Very tempting. A little watch could go like right in your pocket and nobody would ever notice. However, 31,000 pounds of watch is missing. That's clue one. Like, in other words, they didn't like scrap it or leave it because it was too valuable, whoever did the deed. Now, that's just suspicious. Like, why would you steal a dead man's watch if you were his friend, or if you were a nice person or something? You get the something part, right? Okay, so now we have the watch. The watch is definitely a clue. The second clue is the pink cocaine. And recently, I mean, everybody who's watched, we've seen like, there was some movie on some series, not The Walking Dead, some series about, on Netflix or something like that, that had the pink cocaine. Now, pink cocaine is a mixture of 3 or 4 things, right? That's why it's pink. It's like a cocktail, with a few tasty things in it. However, it's like a salad drug. There's a few things that make it, but it is a distinct pink. Now, the only other person who's been in the news with pink cocaine is, of course, Diddy. Diddy's parties had pink cocaine, and I gather this stuff is not cheap. And 3 or 4 mixtures, 3 or 4 things, drug highs, into this pink champagne, pink champagne, pink cocaine, the champagne of the wines, I guess would make you pretty out there, pretty astro. All right, but that's still a clue, pink cocaine. So you had to have a certain amount of dollars, pounds, dinero, to afford pink cocaine. All right, now, we already got the watch. We have the pink cocaine as clue number 2. 2 clues. The watch, 31,000-pound watch, which is missing, and we have the pink cocaine. Now, the next thing is kind of strange. Now, these are the boy band. Now, anybody who's watched Korean boy bands, they know this cycle. I mean, I think the Koreans first came out with the boy bands, and they have they get up there, they do their thing, they really like, oh wow, like Shiny. Shiny is another example, Korean group called Shiny, of which their lead singer also mysteriously passed away. All right, passed. Was committed suicide. Very strange, and they hushed it up. They quickly. But that's also a very strange thing. But it's not like it hasn't happened before. The point being, the fact of like One Directions weren't really making any. Their albums were like, people were tired of them. I mean, they came out when they were 16, 15 years ago. And they were like, they started from X Factor with Simon Cowell. And they were 16 years old. It's very hard when a boy band becomes men, to like still go off and be a boy band. As well as, group interaction, stuff like that. Anyway, the point is the third clue is the fact that after his death, Payne's death, their 4 albums they have out, One Direction, a hit, making money. And it was on the top of the top charts, all 4 albums they did. So it's, there's a profit. There's profit with the watch. There's profit with the sale of the music business profit. And there's that expensive pink cocaine. Now, the fourth thing is kind of, that is strange, is the fact that when he died from the fall. Now, okay, so this is maybe a little harsh, but when you fall off the third floor, you could break your leg, and you could like break your back. You can also break your neck, but it's only the third floor. It's the third floor. Now, I wouldn't want to be pushed down to the third floor, of course. Who would want to be? I don't want to be pushed out the first floor. I don't want to fall down. I'm saying, though, it still is suspicious that someone would fall off the third floor and die. They could, in Manhattan, they usually fall from the 15th, the 18th, the top floors, the penthouse. The third floor, you can end up just like hurting yourself, and being like in a cast and bedridden, maybe in a wheelchair, but you usually don't like expire completely. So, those 3.5 things are suspicious. And then he had like a girlfriend, they were going to get married. And he has this beautiful child called Bear. And it's just very suspicious. He had every single thing to live for. He didn't have, very few singers spend their entire lives singing. Like a lot of the arts, a lot of the creative field. And you branch out, you do something else. He could have had restaurants, pizza places, beauty parlors. He could have had an amusement park. Choices. He could have just bought up like a resort someplace, summer resort, hotel. He was depressed. I don't buy that. It's like, so what? Okay, now, let's say, first of all, let's ask the spirits. Was Liam Payne, was he murdered? Was he silenced? Was he pushed off? Now, right now, the 2 females and someone else are being questioned and held for suspicion. We all know that it doesn't. What did he know? We all know that it doesn't take much for people to do dirty deeds. And a little cash, a little dinero, and Some people just go, well, I have to, I did it. So people have different motivations. Now let's ask the spirit. Let's ask all the spirits that are listening in this night realm. Did Liam Payne, Liam Payne, did he, is already like disappearing. Was he, your last moments, were you pushed? Were you assisted in this demise? You had company. Were you alone? You just didn't trip off the terrace, did you? No, let's see now. Take 3 cards and find out. Was he pushed? Was this a contract fulfillment? What is it? Was it? Which one of these? Okay, this one. And we'll do this one. We're going to explore. Okay, we'll take these 4 first. And let's see if Liam Payne, okay, he wasn't alone. There's 2. He was not alone. He did not jump. He did not fall. It seems like he was with someone. Maybe more than one. And then we have the King of Pentacles. Someone was paid. Who was paid? This was a contract. Looks like it was a contract. I can see him right now. Don't want to, but I see him. And here we have the 9 of Pentacles. The 9 of Pentacles. Well, we have it was a warning, a show. It was a hired. This was a warning could it be a warning for anybody who speaks out that they can meet the same fate as Liam Payne? Look at all this. The 10 of Pentacles. This is all this look at this. We have the King of Pentacles. I thought the King of Pentacles. I thought that was the 10 of Pentacles. No, I must have been feeling this last card. The King of Pentacles. Who is the King of Pentacles? And then we have serves as a warning. This is the presentation. No, I'd say that somebody put a hit on him. It looks like it was like a straight up. It was like a hired hit. It seems like it was a hired hit. We have the 2 of Pentacles. All this is Pentacles. Look at this. All Pentacles. The Earth Realm. And the money. Substance. Display. I think that he was. It's not me thinking. I'm just trying to put myself as a vehicle. It sounds as though it was a contract. He was silenced. The prophet. I mean, there was more to be gained from him being passed on than for him to continue in the biological form. That was a win-win. And there was something, too, to keep him quiet. It was a decision. I don't think that he exactly, I don't believe that he, even in a stupor, because I'm sure he had a high, it's like somebody who doesn't drink, and they have 1/2 of a glass of wine, and they're already tipsy. They have no stamina. But somebody who drinks can drink the whole couple of bottles and still be mildly intoxicated. It's what your system gets used to. But there's a whole lot of De Niro. And in somebody orchestrating this, he was not alone. So we've already seen that Liam Payne he did not jump off the cliff. He did not fall off the cliff, and he was not alone. This seems like a message to keep him quiet. And with those powerful tie-ins, the pink cocaine, the missing watch, the 31,000-pound watch, his music taking off, the group making money after such a long time, and how can someone, no matter, especially somebody who does drugs and they're used to doing drugs, how can someone just fall off, no matter how stoned they are? It smells of more to it. Now, was his best friend, who says he loved him, was his best friend involved? Or was those two hotel workers involved? Now, of course, they're going along with the hotel workers because they have so much cash to gain. You don't get much money working as a maid or in a hotel. No. I mean, it's worldwide depression. You can't even it's hard to get 2 shillings together. People are tight with their money. Which is making a lot of people who don't have money do things. And then there are people that have, with money, that have armies. They have armies of drones, mental idiots who will just do what they're told to do, just to gain favor. They will do anything. There are a certain group of people, certain type of people that will do anything. And they live to be exalted by the one they admire, the one who pulls their strings. Now, was his friend Robertioli, Robert, let's just use the English version, was his friend, or how close? How can we word this? And we know that first of all, let's do this. Was his death connected with Diddy? Okay, since the pink cocaine, let's just do the pink cocaine tie-in. The pink cocaine. I mean, I never heard of pink cocaine except in some Netflix movie about some high school chemist who decided to make a whole bunch of extra dough. And he came up with some pink cocaine. I think that was, yeah. And let's see now, this tie-in. This pink cocaine, is that something viable, a good lead between Diddy's parties, and this pink cocaine? Pink cocaine. Takes 2 cards. Now, we want to see if this pink cocaine that was found in his system or someplace, details, was found in association with him. This pink cocaine. Let's take another 4 cards and find out. Where is? I'm getting no particular readout. Let me just, maybe this one. Let's see if this one or this one. Let me take this one. Anyway, let's see if this pink cocaine's a tie-in with Diddy. All right, now we have sneaky. The sneak card, the 7 of Swords. Pink cocaine, sneaky, suspicious. And then we have Empress. You could say this pink cocaine was up there in the stratosphere of the list of drugs. It wasn't cheap. Something that a wealthy person could afford. And the Empress, highly susceptible. And then again, now we have the King of Pentacles again. We just picked it out. We just felt it. Get some high cards on this. High cards. And then we have this sneak. Was it connected to some other hip-hop royalty besides Diddy? Could be. He knew something. Anybody that went to Diddy's parties, I mean, you don't go to somebody's party and go like, act stupid. I mean, you know what I mean? You don't like, who is this guy? You know exactly what you're walking into. You know what you're walking into. You're going into a housewarming, a party scene. You knew what was happening. And you're not that stupid not to think that a camera, etc., wasn't watching. Bingo. I'd say this is the pink cocaine is a definite tie-in. It's something only very wealthy people would be associated with. And you can say it's a coincidence. Yes, it is a coincidence. And it's a very strange coincidence. Hi, Brittany. Yes, you could have a reading after we explore, please, more of this connection. The pink cocaine. What do you think about this, Brittany? Do you think that pink cocaine, look at that sneaky. Do you think that, it looks to me that pink cocaine is a definite marker for who did it, who done it? Do you think so? What do you think? What do you think? Looks to me that like that pink cocaine definitely is like evidence one. Maybe the pink cocaine is evidence one. The watch being stolen, missing, is evidence two. And then the success of the music, of the surge in their music appeal, sales. And then the third thing is only the third floor. So, I mean, I think, hi, how are you? I think that it's very, very suspicious. The pink cocaine is definitely a tie-in to who did it, who ordered the hit. Now, I don't expect, since we have here the King of Pentacles, we have the Empress, and we can imagine who that may or may not be, but hip-hop royalty, I'm saying that, like, it's bingo. They would not sully their hands doing it themselves, but they would definitely, definitely provide the cash, the money. All right, so now there's two things, this mystery. The mystery of his death. There's three things. Now, if you follow the lead of the drug, you follow the lead of the watch, and you follow the prophets of the music, you can get narrowed down to whom it may or may have been behind it all. And of course, as I was saying about Diddy's parties, hey, come on, I don't believe you didn't know. Oh, I didn't know. Yes, you knew. That's why you went. That's why you went to those parties, and it was the rite of passage. The rite of passage. Crappy, huh? Real crappy. Real crappy. Like, don't say you didn't know. Don't say anything like that. I mean, it's already you don't have to insult your fan base. And that's a little, I mean, everything is like open and out, and nobody's really, you're trying to move on, nothing to see here, move on, let's love, peace. And there's no peace, but just keep the love and keep the, the dinero moving. That's the way it seems to be wrong. However, a person's dead. Who did it? Who did it? Now, let's see what else now. Was it the maid? Was it the maid? The maids? Was it the hotel workers? They had the most profit. They wouldn't see that kind of money in a lifetime. If they maybe they just needed the cash. Now, are those two females just were there at an unfortunate time? Or did they actually assist on some level? Or were they actually females? They could have been, individuals wearing hotel garments, falsies, stockings. Now let's see, do those two females have anything to do with those two female hotel workers? Did they have anything to do with Liam Payne's death? Did they push him off? Did they do something? Did they drug him? Did they something? Did they risk their lives? Or are they, it's like, I can't even put the words together. Did they do it? Did these two hotel female women, these last women that were with him, did they help snuff his life out? Did they do this? Did they? Yeah, let's see now. I'm going to pull this one up. Give me some vibrations here. Do I get any vibrations from this card? Let's see. This one. All right. Now you see, this is random cards. Let's see now. Were those two hotel workers involved in the murder, which is the homicide of Liam Payne? Now here we have the King of Swords. All right. Something to say. Communicating something. It's uncertain. The uncertainty card. Definitely they had a profit motive, obviously, but it's still uncertain. Would they kill? Would they assist in killing a rich man? Ooh. We have the Ten of Swords. Doesn't look particularly like they probably thought about it. And we have the Page of Wands. Could be the hint of money, the hint of a better life. They may have known something. Well, it's suspicious. They're suspicious, of course. They had a motivation, I would say, with money. Money is uncertain, but they're getting framed for their lack of money. Their lack of money is framing them. Their lack of resources, being poor, sometimes means you're guilty because you don't have money and a rich man dies. Well, the poor person is definitely a target. The Ten of Swords. So there's a lot of weight going to pin this on the women, these two hotel workers. Are they or are they not guilty? Well, let's look at this uncertainty card. Let's just dive into this one a little bit. The moon. Let's see if we can get a little something, a little. Okay, so we know that if you're poor and you're a rich man, if you're a poor person and you're around a rich man and he's dead, and you were the last people to see him alive, that definitely puts you in an awkward position, to say the least. I mean, the motive is there. Give me some cash, and that would be contingent upon finding the watch in their person. Of course, they'd be stupid enough to have it in their house, but let's see. This uncertainty card. This is screaming to me. This one here. And this one, these two, this one screams to me. There's a lot of things about this uncertainty. All right. Now let's see. I have these three cards on this one. The uncertainty of being poor. These women, these hotel workers. They were the last ones to see him alive. The first card we drew was, again, 10. Bingo. We got the 10 of Pentacles. Just, that's definitely an affirmation. Could be an affirmation because you're poor and you're hanging out with a rich man, and he dies, that you're like guilty. Could be that. And then we have the struggle. That's not a good sign. It's not a good sign. And then we have the 2 of Pentacles again. The 2 of Pentacles. Well, it looks like the motive is there is to get the motive. The uncertainty is the fact that those girls, women, females, they had a profit motive with a 10 of Pentacles, and they had an 8 of Swords, which is either they're conspiring they conspire together, and or they have something that links them together with this togetherness. And then we have the 2 of Pentacles. There's a lot of togetherness, and we have they seem to be not entirely innocent. Not innocent. They knew something. They know something. Money was just like, and when, again, money. The 10 of Pentacles, the 10 of Pentacles, the 2 of Pentacles, and we have the Swords. Ooh, we can't talk about it, and it is perilous. And hence we have, those are some pretty strong uncertainty, pretty strong motivations for doing. And then we also have, the 10 of Swords. That's pretty strong. It speaks to suspicious. It's very suspicious. Very, very, very suspicious. All right, so we have here, we have a contract hit. These 2 hotel people may have been very well. The guilt is there. Poor versus rich. You have, I don't, and you're stoned and I'm straight. Something like that. It smells. So now we know that finding the watch is number 1. Tracing the watch. And of course, nobody's going to melt that watch down or take it apart because, it's 31,000 pounds worth of watch. Worth of value. That's the word, value. So we have like a strong, I need some money and I need it now. And this could get me casa, could get me travel, and a car. You could. So the pink cocaine, the watch, and the abundant music business, the revenue from the music business, their songs. This is a case that they better work on it. because it's very high. It's highly suspicious. He did not fall down from the third floor. He could have been an invalid. No, he was particularly he was going to say something. This association is it's just too vast, too much of a coincidence. It smells. It smells. And when you feel that one, two, three, one of those tie-ins would be enough. Let alone all three: music sales, the pink cocaine, and the missing expensive, enough to buy me a house, at least an RV somewhere. Now, there's more to this story. And we will be revisiting this murder mystery because it is homicide. It's not suicide. He did not kill himself. He had everything to live for. Girlfriend he was going to marry. He had a beautiful child with a woman he respected, had a good relationship with. He had plenty of cash. And so what if your company that you've been working for wasn't going to do you anymore? So what? You're only 31 years old and you can do millions of things and you have millions of dollars. He wasn't lacking. So many of people, I mean, a rich man is like he's going to be depressed. Even if he was in debt, his name alone could like open up down. He wasn't in debt. That hasn't been discovered. Yes, even my pussycat says it's suspicious. Very suspicious. Think about if you had all his assets and you've been working since 16. And of course, his drug intake and drug susceptibility is much greater than the average person because I'm sure they plied him with plenty of drugs for a couple of decades almost, or at least a decade and a half. So, anyone would like a reading? I think tie-in is definitely, these three things are very suspicious. And the fact that he was 16 years old, too, when he started his business. And he went to this whirlwind type of very unique experience. How grounded was he, or just how intimidated was he? These are all the questions you can think about if you were 16 in a business that was filled with a lot of degenerate, a lot of fast talkers, a lot of heavy duty men, older men, a lot of sex, a lot of demands. Being a young teenager, a lot of screaming, a lot of noise, a lot of cameras, a lot of everything. It's quite excessive. Were they taken care of? Were they treated well? Yeah, there's a lot of psychology involved with taking. Think of Justin Bieber, right? He started when he was 14. And that's a nasty business. I mean, people are like shot, killed, bored, many things. And of course, all those things happen. All those things happen in the music business. All those things. Music business, some of the arts. I mean, people say, oh, you play such nice music, or you sing so nice, or you paint so nice, or you write so well, or you oh, wow, you should be an actress. I mean, all these things, they are flatter your ego in a way, and they develop you, of course, but there's like a lot of murk in culture. And where does that murkiness come from? Sometimes it comes from comes from sexual pleasure. It comes from dominance, submission, all sorts of like psychologically twisted places. Some people think you have to twist somebody who's talented to get them to be flexible, to bring forth their jewels. But that's just another sick, psychopathic way of doing things. But a lot of people are psychopathic over a bicycle, over their hired help. Like, if you're working in an ice cream store, you could have a boss who's like, does tricks. So it doesn't really, it's just whole dominance and submission. And some people really feel that they have to press points instead of embracing. And that's just the way, right now, most of the governments, most of the gap, the wealth gap, and I don't know, it's more than wealth. It's more like cracking the whip. Cracking the whip. Move it, move it, move it. And I guess that's another thing about like these members of One Direction. When you start out, like Payne, when you start out at 16, being crack the whip, move it, move it, move it. I mean, you get tired. You get tired. Tired of being a puppet. Tired of like moving when the boss says move. Especially when you have enough cash to like take off. Take off and do something else. So, would anyone like a reading to explore their own journey? I mean, do you feel that you're like walking a thin line? Walking a path where nobody else can walk but you? What do you feel? What messages do you get? Or are you doing a humdrum job and you think nothing's going to change? Maybe it does change. Or maybe you want to be a singer. Maybe you want to be something different. Maybe you want to do something that only a few people could do. Or maybe you just want something excitement. How exciting do you want your life to be? And then maybe it's so exciting that you get bored with it and you want something ordinary. You just want to be one of the blokes. One of the blokes at the pub and go home to your everyday house and just fall asleep with the TV on, the radio on, the lights on. So what? So what? Whatever. But does fate have something like that for you or something different? Fate, spirits, are you being called to do something different? It's amazing. You don't know. Like this right now. You know that in about 3 months, which is not 2 months, 2.5 months. In about 2.5 months, things will change. What if you're in the army, drafted into the army? And what if? What if you find yourself like a parent? Soon, you're going to be a mother or a father. What if you're going to be alone by yourself? What if you're going to meet the love of your life very soon? The love of your life will have completion. Your partner. What if? Here we go, sneaky again. This sneak card. What is being sneaky? Sneaky. What is sneaky? Sneaky. What is sneaky? Sneak card wants to keep crawling. Maybe there's sneaky people traveling around you. The Knight of Wands. Why would the Knight of Wands, which is something fiery, to sneak around? Maybe it's a sense of battle. Maybe. Let's see. King of Swords again. Same cards. Just randomly picking them and they still come up the same. Let's see. Let's pick out one of these cards. A TP. Huh? And let's pick out one here. Well, let's see what this is. Single. Single. Somebody is healing. Heal. Single healing. Let's look more. Well, we have a side piece. Somebody would rather be single than be somebody's side piece. Well, it looks like somebody's trying to get healthy out there. Somebody's trying to get healthy. Because they really don't like being somebody's trashy side piece. You really feel disgusted. Don't feel disgusted about yourself. Things happen. You do things, you get over it. As long as you recognize that you want something better for yourself, that's the best thing to do. That's the best thing. And you'll heal yourself. And you can start again. Taking time off is a good thing. But don't let anybody play you. Lovers. Nah. Yeah, sometimes love is kind of a little blind. Sometimes. Let's see. Jiggle. Move these around. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Let's see now. What do we see in here? Let's see. What do we have messages for people? Like, if you were used as a side piece for somebody, you get over it. And just because somebody can't be honest, doesn't mean that you are trashy. No. That person is a trashy one. Now, let's see. Let's take another bunch of cards, mix them around. What other messages do we have for somebody out there? All right, let's see now. Let's take out this one. Okay, we have this one. What do we see? Sooner. What sooner? And we have a moon. Amorous. Ooh. Somebody is going to get kisses and hugs. Kisses and hugs. Someone's going to find themselves in a very nice position of being loved soon, sooner than later. Love is coming. Someone's going to find themselves. Now let's take one more and let's see if this is a love that's desired. Somebody's going to have somebody come on to them. Ooh. Let's see. We have moon. Casually. It could be at a bar. It could be at a club. Somebody's could be intoxicated. It smells like somebody's going to be intoxicated. And someone, be careful. So somebody is either going to be a little inebriated and they're going to find somebody smooching all over them, or someone is going to be approached by someone who is inebriated. Well, same thing. Somebody's going to find someone who is a little excited, or maybe they just had a few drinks to calm their nerves. Who knows? But somebody out there is going to have a little kissing on the arms, a little hand on the waist, stuff like that, in a public place. Sounds interesting. Sounds interesting, doesn't it? Well, let's shuffle these up again. Let's see if somebody else is going to have some kind of little encounter. Somebody else is going to have some sort of little experience. All right. Who out there? Let's see now. All right. Let's see. Push these back. This one. Okay. Now, let's stick in here and see who is what. Let's see. 1, 2. Okay. So we have a moon. Okay. Let's see now. Defend. Defend what? What are we defending? No. Another moon is picking itself up. Moon. Oh, no, again, we have casual. How can I have you too casual? These are definitely public places. I mean, I'm just sticking my hand. What is this? Let's see. Now, what is this? A TV. Surprise. It could be that somebody surprises somebody gets a surprise because they're in a group lunch, in a group thing. You know, like people go out to co-workers or something, friends go out to in a group, like 5 or 6 people on a table, and then somebody starts accusing someone, maybe you, of you, and you have to defend yourself against this casual scene. And they surprise you, be the fact that they're using you as a skateboard, as a target. Practice. So I would be on alert when I go out in a group of people if there is some kind of rat fink in there who enjoys showtime, who's just bored and just trying to pull something that makes you have to feel defensive. Sometimes in the most casual situations, when your guard is down, that's when you have to be on guard. And it comes as a surprise. Don't be surprised. That's the whole thing. Don't be surprised. You never know when somebody's going to have a little sadistic fun. People today are they just like beating off. It's the same thing when you have people ratting on each other if you didn't do this and you didn't do that. Spying on your neighbors. Same thing. All right, now let's see one more time, and then I think I'm going to do something else. Nobody wants a personal reading, but this is, I have one more draw out there, one more situation that someone, at whatever time you listen to this, should be like a little on guard for. And to all my subscribers who are listening to this about One Direction, the death of a talented person, thank you for listening. And think about, if you have any comments, please contribute to the thought, to the direction, to the solving of the case. And if you like a personal reading, you can look in the description box below, and you can email me, and we could do one, and etc., etc., etc. Just make sure if you have any comments, you have anything you think about, share. Appreciate it. All right, so now this is one more we're going to do, final one. All right, now here's one, a star card. All right, now we have a star, and let's see now. We have one of these. This one, slipping through my finger. This one. Okay. Now we have a star and we have a design. Let's see what the star card says. Show off. Cheat. One more. I can't. Show off and cheat. Just this. Oh. We have somebody who is a silver spoon, which means, they have some bucks. Not a wooden spoon, totally poor, but a silver spoon. We have someone who's a silver spoon, and they are showing off the fact that they are a silver spoon, but they are at hand irresponsible and selfish. Irresponsible and selfish. So when you see somebody who has, they're showing off what they have, they're just doing it because they are lack of character. Lack of character. And they are essentially a show off and a cheat. The type is son or daughter. This feels male energy. A son of a rich person who acts like a dandy. And they have this sense of they never had to really work for something because it was always provided. So they end up extremely, I gotta show off. That's the only way they get attention, because they don't have anything inside, anything of real substance inside. And they've been used to getting a pass because they're loaded, or they're better off than a lot of people. So they have to get attention, they use negative things. So just watch out. They're just cheating your time. They're just getting on your, getting extra time. And they should just be poofed off. So watch this person who has rich parents, and he shows off because he can. He says, I can. As if your money is interesting to anybody else who doesn't have it, technically, right? It's your money, you keep it, shut up, right? So why should you pay? But this person thinks I have money, so you should pay attention to me. And so that's why he's just basically irresponsible and selfish, and that's cheating on your time hanging out with such a person like that. Otherwise, if he wasn't a silver spoon, he would just shut up, and he probably wouldn't be such a crummy person. All right, those are the few things that Mystic Moons has to share right now. And since I have been talking now for an hour, I am going to have some coffee, which is right here. And if you would like to have a reading, well, feel free. Yeah. And if you would like to ask for a reading, you can just put your question and I'll sit here for a little bit. Just a little bit. We could either do the tarot, or we can do an oracle. We can go in here and do see what kind of situation that may or may not have be part of something that you should pay attention to, or something you should be, well, you have to pay attention to it, but something that will benefit you, or something you have to avoid. Things to avoid are very important too. You can't pay attention to it. You know what I mean? You can't like open yourself up to everything. No way. And sometimes when we're overly sensitive, that's what we do. Excuse me. My throat made a noise. Well, the one person clicking right now, my steady friend, how are you? How are you doing? If you want to say hello. How do you like these portals? Isn't it nice? Mystic moons these things, and they're full of magic. They have all sorts of, look at eyes. It's almost like a creature, isn't it? 2 eyes. It looks like a big mouth right here. Looking into the void, looking into the void. See, that's what it is. Looking into the void, looking into the ether. It surrounds us all. We're all surrounded. We're never really alone. That's probably the biggest reality that they have yet to really share. We're never alone. And we have never been alone. And I think when people feel they're lonely, that's just a society infliction to make you do things, do things, do things that they can watch you do, or just to like be more productive. But I don't think anybody's actually ever alone. I mean, there's too many beings, there's too many spirits, there's too many creatures, there's too much motion. The atmosphere is too alive to be alone. You're not alone, not at all. I mean, the air is steaming with breath, breathing, heartbeats, and magic. I mean, magic. Sometimes they say that if you think something and somebody else isn't thinking that something, that area that you're thinking is a reality exists. It's another dimension where maybe if only you jump into it, it's still a reality to you. And since we cannot really feel somebody, I mean, we can feel empathy with somebody else, but this is different. This is not empathetic. This is exploration. This is fine-tuning your humanity. Fine-tuning humanity is something that, like, I don't know if governments are ready for people to fine-tune their humanity. Because if we were, we would open up about our past civilizations, our past, who and what we really are. That's the biggest mystery of all. And you have to admit, it doesn't matter if you live on the east of the world, of the planet, on the west of the planet. It doesn't matter what kind of government you have. It's like, do you know who we really are? Question. That's probably why we feel such aching. It's really the ache to, like, get back to what we are. Some societies, I'm sure, were much more open. Societies that build all these fabulous buildings, that's different, you know? I mean, there's always been a few crackpots, but, like, it's almost as though we're going backwards, right? Shorter lifespan. We don't have high expectations or aspirations, or maybe we do. I mean, we're told to be like, oh, just shut up, just lay it down, lay it down, lay it down. Lay what down? You asked. It. What the hell is it? You asked. They said, shut up. I mean, can you get a break? Apparently not. Well, I'm going to end this feed if no one else would like reading. And it's been grand. If you have anything you'd like to ask, do it now, because I am going off to something else, to some other thing, some other place. I'm going to. So I bid all my dear ones all over the world, all over the planet, to have a most beautiful day. Bye-bye.